beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm back with another makeup I want but probably won't buy and why video. If you are new here, this is a series that I do on my channel that is a little bit of a crossbreed, is that right? Yeah, between Samantha March's Will I Buy It series and an anti-haul video. The reason why I want to do this type of video is because I could never really fully commit to the Will I Buy It's because there's just a lot of things that I most likely will not buy, and I didn't want to commit to saying like this is something I will buy, and then like there's just so much makeup and so many new releases that if I were to buy everything that interested me, I would be so broke. I would not be able to afford that, so I can never commit to like a will I buy it for sure that I would buy something. But that doesn't mean there's not products that really interest me, and so I couldn't also commit to doing like an anti-haul, like I'm not buying these. I mean, of course, technically this is kind of an anti-haul because I most likely will not be buying these things. That's why it's, you know, it is what it is. But it's not an anti-haul. I'm not anti-hauling it. It's not that I have negative things to say. These are things that have caught my attention, things that do interest me. I wanted to talk about them, but I just may not buy for whatever reason, and I will talk about that. Now, I have mentioned before the reason why these are called probably won't buy is because there is some chance that I may purchase these things, but there's just a higher chance that I won't. So anyways, if that sounds interesting to you, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Actually, really quick note, I don't know, I always do this. I always think, oh, we're gonna get right into it and then I have other things to say. If you like what is on my face, I will have it listed and possibly linked in the description box, but I did film my face makeup for an IGTV video, so I will list everything I'm using, but I'll also put a link to my IGTV video so you guys can watch it if you'd like to see me apply my face. Also, just you guys watching my videos, whether here or on Instagram, helps me out a ton. Leaving comments, liking, and things like that really helps me. So if you wouldn't mind watching it, it'll probably just be like a 1-minute video. I would love that. So the link will be there. For my eyes, I did film this for a tutorial here on my channel. That video will be coming up. I'm not quite sure when, but I did use my Vintage Romance loose eyeshadow collection with NBA Cosmetics. So I have a couple tutorials that I'm going to be putting into one video using my collection. So anyways, stay tuned for that. So with that being said, we're gonna get into it. There are quite a few things here. These videos do tend to be long, so grab a snack, grab a drink, get cozy. And also some of these items tend to be a little bit older because I don't do these weekly. Usually I do one a month, maybe 2 a month if I'm feeling ambitious, but usually I just do them once a month. So I still like to talk about some of the products that are old news. And by old news, I mean like that are 2 weeks old, which, you know, here in the beauty community, that's just how it goes. So let's go ahead and get into it now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the hot topic, the probably most interesting item out of the way right off the bat. Now, if I were smart, I'd probably wait and save that for more towards the end to get you guys to watch all the way through, but you know what? I'm not that smart. We're gonna talk about it now because I'm just really excited to talk about it. The Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star collab collection. Okay, I actually was gonna purchase this. Now, if you are new here, you may not know, but I'm not exactly a Jeffree Star fan. I've talked before on my channel how I don't really purchase from him and don't really care to support him on my channel, but I'm not like an anti-fan either. I don't hate him. I do believe he has made a lot of mistakes in the past, but I do think he is a good person. I think he's made a lot of changes in a positive way. But he still makes mistakes, which I think is troublesome and bothersome, and that's why a lot of people don't like him. And this series really has helped me to see Jeffree in a new light. But regardless of that, I am someone who definitely believes people can change. I believe in forgiveness. I don't believe in holding grudges and holding people to a standard of how they used to be 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 2 years ago, because I know myself, I am someone who grows and changes. I'm not the same person I was even 2 weeks ago, and I would hate for someone to hold me to think that I am the same person I was back then when I believe we can grow and change and become better people and learn from our mistakes. So I believe that of Jeffree and of anybody who may seem problematic. And this has made me see a lighter side of him, and I really like that. Things that I don't like about Jeffree is that he still can pop off a lot, and oftentimes to his own customers and things like that, and that's something I don't really like about him. So that is something that I do wish like he would strive to do a little bit better at, and I'm sure he has. I do feel like I've seen growth and change in him, and like I said, the series really has helped me see a softer side of Jeffree that I really enjoy that. I like that. I do think he can be a really good person and has good qualities, but he definitely has made a lot of mistakes and kind of continues to make some mistakes too along the way, but we all do. And so anyways, so that kind of turned my perspective, and actually, and not just for Jeffree, actually also for Shane Dawson, who I'm also not necessarily a fan of. I'm also not a fan. You know, I have enjoyed him. I first started watching him when he did this series on Bunny Graveyard Girl, and I thought it was really interesting, yeah. And then this series really helped me to come around and really like him and I guess get to know him better, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan. I don't really know much about him. But I like him. He seems very humble and down to earth, and this series has been really cool to kind of see him kind of get some things that other bigger YouTubers have had, and opportunities that he has been around for so long and has not had. Anyway, so I do think it's really neat. I like seeing the behind the scenes of all this stuff. I think it's been really cool. So as the series progressed, I had actually planned on getting something from the collection, and it would have been my first purchase, and I thought it might be cool to do like a review on my channel, you know, of the collection from someone who is not a fan, you know, because it would be totally unbiased and things like that. So anyways, all that being said, well, when the day it was going to launch, I was still a little bit on the fence of if I really actually wanted to purchase or not. I asked on my Instagram stories, like polls and things like that. Some people were like for it and really wanted to see me purchase it and hear my opinions and things like that. So anyways, I did decide that I did want to get the Conspiracy palette. I thought it looked really pretty, really interesting, a little bit wild in color story, but not like wild in the sense like I wouldn't wear it, but just like not really, which I have something to say about it, like not really cohesive. Anyways, I'm gonna get to that. I'll get around to it. Anyways, but I still thought there were several shades in it that were really, really pretty, and they really interested me. And so the mini palette I really wasn't interested in, to be honest. I'm being honest, I'm not trying to be rude. I think it's ugly. I don't like the color scheme, but I'm not big into blue. So like the two blues in it, and then there's like a purple and then some browns. I was just like, that's just my opinion. I don't think it's an attractive palette. I wouldn't have used it, but the Conspiracy palette I really wanted. And so the day it launched, I got on like at 9:59 to Morphe, to Jeffree Star, and to Beautylish, all 3 pages, to see if I can, you know, that I can try to get the palette. Morphe took forever to load and kind of froze. Beautylish I was able to get on there. It was slow, but it was loading. The Jeffree Star website completely crashed, just kept saying like they're dealing with technical difficulties. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go through with Beautylish. Beautylish still took quite a long time, but it was actually progressing. It got me all the way to checkout, and then the checkout page was like kept freezing and kept being really slow, and finally it went through, was letting me check out. I was trying to put my information in, and then the page froze again, and then when it loaded again, it said that the palette was sold out by that point. So that's the condensed version. This was over a span of like 45 minutes. And so I was really, really bummed. And I tried on the Jeffree Star website again, and it loaded finally, but then when I went to go put the palette in my cart, it crashed again and then kept crashing, and I kept trying to get it to load and it wouldn't load. But yeah, so long story short, I didn't get the palette. So I just thought, you know, I guess maybe it wasn't meant to be for me to get this palette, because I really did try, and I've never really, I mean, there might have been one launch. Was it the like Jaclyn Hill? I can't remember. There was one launch where I feel like I tried to buy it the day it launched. Other than that, I never typically get excited about launches and things like that, and have to buy something right when it launches. That's not me. So anyways, I did try, but I didn't get it, unfortunately. So that's why I won't be buying it. I'm trying to still decide if because I did see something that they were going to have a restock coming up soon, maybe next week, and I'm trying to decide if I want to get it in the restock. I feel like kind of by then the hype around it may have died down and it might be pointless because we'll be moving on to something else, and that I will admit the big pool of me getting it would be to review it on my channel and things like that, and so I just don't know. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. If I bought it from the restock, would you still be interested in hearing my thoughts about it, or would we be over it by now? The other thing I want to say, there's two other things I want to say concerning this palette. This is the first thing. I know I had a lot to say about it. That's why I want to get it out of the way first. One was that people were saying they didn't really like the color story. It didn't make sense. It was kind of weird. And I saw that a lot of people kind of saying this in different reviews, as well as like in makeup groups that I'm in. And I just had some thoughts about that specifically that I figured might be nice to share. I don't know. But I wrote this in response to someone saying that. I said, I do think the colors are super random, but that's because Shane didn't pick a color story to go with. He picked colors that told a story and put them together. So they are random together for sure, but pretty. I've never bought a Jeffree Star product before, but this may have been my first. So anyways, I was commenting. So anyways, as far as the color story, I agree. I don't think there's a real true color story to this palette. It kind of doesn't make sense. And like I said, I think that's just because if you watched the series, you saw that Shane, he wasn't like picking a color story and was like, I want to create a palette around this color story. He literally was picking colors that told a story and then put them together. So in that sense, I think it's neat. Yes, it's random, but I think he did a really good job putting it together, and I think a lot of the shades are really pretty and were really intriguing to me. And so I had really wanted it. But additionally, that being said, I was looking through my collection, thinking about my collection, and if you watch my makeup basket, you saw that I put in an old school Anastasia Beverly Hills palette for this month that I wanted to get some use out of, that I actually have had for like 2 or 3 years, and I have never even used it yet. So it's crazy. I'm ridiculous, I know, because I have so much makeup. And anyways, it got put on the back burner and then eventually got forgotten about. Well, oh God, I almost dropped it. Wow. Anyways, I was thinking about this palette, and when I was looking at it, this palette actually reminds me a lot of the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson's Conspiracy palette. Now, it's not exact dupe, but I think the shades in it that are the most interesting to me from the Shane Dawson palette are very similar to this palette, and so I just thought I'd bring it out to show you guys. And I do plan on creating like a tutorial with it, like a throwback tutorial with it. And if you have it and you thought about that that Shane palette and you maybe wanted it and missed out on it, maybe pull this out and see if it kind of curves the craving to buy a new palette. I don't know if it will or not, but anyways, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist palette. And for those who maybe don't know what it looks like, here is what it looks like. And man, I'm a mess. I'm just dropping things everywhere. That was the brush that fell. This palette I think is really pretty. I find that there are similarities in that the colors that called to me the most in Jeffree's palette were the shade that looks like this. It's kind of like a burgundy purpley wine shade, and that's right here. The other like metallic green shade that's in there, right here. There is a vibrant kind of bright neon-y green shade. It almost looks orange, yellow, depending on the pictures and things like that. So while this isn't like a neon green, this does have a bright yellow in it as well. This shade of Buttery looks kind of like the shade of My Pills. It has this shade beigely, I think, that could be somewhat similar to the shade Sleep Paralysis. Maybe not, because I know Sleep Paralysis is supposed to be like a super unique kind of duochrome shade, so this isn't quite, but it's like a silvery type of shade. So anyways, it's not exactly a dupe, but there are similar shades in this palette, which made me think of it and made me want to pull this out and see what kind of looks I could create with this palette. Because like I said, some of the shades that most caught my attention from the Shane palette, I think look similar-ish in here. Maybe not exact dupes, but I could probably create similar-ish looks. Now, the only other shades that like really were interesting to me in that palette, not the only, but some of the other shades that were interesting in that palette that are not in here are the Flamin' Hot, the Hot Cheeto shade I thought was really interesting. Pigment, I thought was a really cute one. And then Trisha, that really bright, pretty pink. Obviously that's not in here. But this one also does have a matte black in here, which there's a matte black in this one called My Ride. You know what I mean? It's not quite the same, but they are similar-ish. And so anyway, so I pulled this and put this in my makeup basket this month so I could play around with it. That hopefully that might curb my cravings in wanting a new palette, and wanting that palette that had some of those shades that were really speaking to me. So anyways, like I said, I'm not sure if I will end up buying this because I didn't get it upon first launch, which is when I really wanted it. And so yeah, I may not purchase it, but I might. I'm gonna see how I feel when the restock happens, and then if you guys share your input with me, I'll maybe decide from there, but I don't know. I don't know if I will end up getting this. Also, I will say that Shane Glossin, I'm such a gloss girl. I love glosses. I really kind of wanted that as well, but I decided not to buy. Even when I was going to buy the palette, I wasn't also going to buy the gloss just because $18 for a clear gloss, come on. I couldn't get myself to purchase an $18 gloss. I mean, it's clear and it's scented like root beer, which I think is cool. I like the name, very punny, very cute, but no, but yes, very intriguing. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, now I'm scrolling all the way back to some older items. I want to talk about those briefly first. I'm not even sure if some of these will be still available. That's a thing I do not like about the beauty community right now and all the makeup releases is there's so much limited edition products that launch, and it's so fast that like, if you don't get it right away, it's gone. And I just don't like that. I don't like that you can't stop and think or wait till you get paid or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you have to buy now or else it's gone. It kind of sucks. So anyways, I could be totally going off right now for no reason. But anyways, this may or may not still be available. But I thought it was really interesting. This was the e.l.f. Cosmetics collab with Nabella. It is a brush set. It looks like there's a lip liner and a lipstick or a lip gloss. And then, is that a highlighter? I think it's a highlighter. Yeah, and it's like a loose highlighter, and there's this cute little clutch I think that comes with it. Does that come with it? Cute. It's a very cute collection. You get the whole bundle for $35. Now, the brushes look really cute. They're pink and pretty. I definitely don't need any new brushes, but they're really cute. The clutch is adorable, but I'm usually not big on lipsticks. I'm much more of a gloss girl. I am wearing a matte liquid lipstick today because it's one of my favorite brands, City Beauty. But anyways, I typically don't wear lipstick that often. The highlight looks beautiful, but I definitely don't need a new highlight, and I don't tend to gravitate towards loose highlighters that often either. So like that, there's a few like downsides against it for why I wouldn't buy, but the reason why I would want to buy is just to support Nabella. I really think she's so sweet, so cute. I love her message and like how bubbly and uplifting she is and encouraging. She's just such an awesome content creator and influencer, and I feel like I can call her an influencer because she is such an amazing positive influence. She's just adorable, and I'm a fan of hers, and so I thought it was really cool that she has this collab with e.l.f. and I saved it because I'm like, oh, I would totally like want to buy and support this, but do I realistically see myself needing or using any of these products? Not really, so that's unfortunate, but I wanted to mention that. So if it's still available and these are things that seem interesting to you, like, I don't know, she's worth supporting. She's just amazing. I really adore her so much. Okay, next on my list are these nude palettes from Huda Beauty. She came out with 3 of them. I don't know the prices of these, but anyways, I thought these were really pretty. Now, the new Nudes palette from her, which is the bigger palette, was a palette that caught my attention. I thought it was really pretty, but I never ended up buying it. Anyway, so I like the idea of these smaller versions of it. They're probably a little bit more affordable. Now there are 3 different shades. There's like a light, medium, and rich for different skin tones, and I thought that was a really cool, neat idea as well. I will say that the light one didn't really speak to me. Those kind of lighter, purpley, cooler tones, I'm not a big fan of. I love my warm tones. So what called to me more than anything was the medium and then the rich palette, especially those reds and really warm, dark, sultry colors. Ooh, I think are so pretty. But Again, I really just don't need any new palettes. I have a lot of these colors already, so I just didn't feel like I needed it, but it really caught my attention. I thought it was really, really pretty. Okay, another thing from Huda Beauty. I thought this was really interesting, and I may eventually buy this, but I'm not sure. So she is releasing a sticky tack lash glue. What is interesting to me, there was something about it. Let me find it. Okay. It says the formula dries completely clear, so when you peel it off, it won't leave a mark. That is interesting. It says this also makes it amazing for beginners because you literally can't go wrong. You don't need to worry about the glue messing up your makeup or catching on your lid. If you put it on wrong, it's fine. Just peel it off and put it on again. That intrigues me because usually anytime you put on lashes, any other lash glue, if you mess up your lash and you peel it off, it's peeling off your eyeshadow with it. It's peeling off whatever makeup is underneath the lash glue, and that can be kind of frustrating because yeah, if you put on your lash wrong, you either live with it or you deal with your eyeshadow being messed up and having to somewhat fix it, or your eyeliner or whatever it is. So the idea of being able to put it down and peel it back up again and fix it without it messing up while also still sticking back down sounds very intriguing to me. So I think I may actually end up picking this up at some point. It is $18, which is very expensive. The lash glue that I use is the Pure Cosmetics lash glue. It has a little wand applicator, which I love, and it's only $8, which I also love. This one is in a squeezy tube, which I don't like. I don't prefer the squeezy tube. Lash glues, I feel like they just make such a mess. I like the little wands, you know what I mean? So I'd prefer that. So those are two things, the price and the squeezy tube, that kind of like are going against it a little bit, but I'm very intrigued. I haven't seen anybody review this yet. Maybe I should look it up, or maybe I should buy it and review it myself. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by that. I may get that. I don't know. I just recently got a bunch of new lash glue, so I don't need more lash glue, but I'm really intrigued by this. That's really cool. Let's move along. Okay, the next one is an indie brand. This is from the brand Kristen Lee Cosmetics, and it's her Autumn Vibes little quad. And these shades look so, so pretty. Now this I think is a limited edition palette, which again, I told you about limited edition. I don't love limited edition products. I just don't. They frustrate me, but this is an indie brand. It's a small woman-owned brand, so I'm very much more inclined to support and purchase even if it is limited edition. And my guess is because it is a smaller brand and lesser known, with it being limited edition, I'm guessing may be available a little bit longer because it's not going to sell out super fast. That's just a guess. I don't quite know for sure. So it may be available longer than most other things that are limited edition. I'm not sure, but let me just tell you, these shades are really, really beautiful. There's some that look a little bit shifty and duochromy, and just they're very metallic. The one that catches my eye the most is the green shade, and then there's this one that looks almost like an autumn leaf itself that shifts from like a goldy orangey yellow to a red that's really pretty. And then there's also a really beautiful red and a really beautiful gold yellow shade. This is kind of expensive for just 4 shadows. It's $35 for 4 shadows, which that's pricey. That's very pricey. But again, it is small business brand. Small businesses tend to be a little bit more pricey because they are handmade. They're not made in bulk where they can get like a better pricing deal, you know what I mean? And I don't know, so to me, I would still purchase that to support small biz, but I don't know. I thought about grabbing it recently, and then just kind of changed my mind. I don't know. I'm just on the fence. I don't know. Yeah, I really kind of want it. I don't need it. I was on the fence with this next item too. I actually went to the website, put these items on my cart, 2 of them, and then clicked out of the website. I have a hard time spending money. I think that's my biggest thing, is because I do get a lot of PR, so I'm very fortunate and blessed in that I don't necessarily need to purchase more makeup, even to review, because I get so much for free to review. And I think that's a big part that stops me also from purchasing makeup that I don't need. Oh, you know what I mean? I have a hard time spending the money. Also the fact that I am, you know, a mom of 3 kids, and when I think about buying stuff that I don't really need, it's hard for me, even though I can justify it in a sense that like I can put it back into my channel and create content, and it's, you know, work related, even though YouTube isn't my job, but kind of, you know what I mean? It's just very hard for me. So anyways, let me talk about the next items. This is also from a small business brand. This is a woman-owned brand as well. My app just crashed and I need to go back to it. Stupid Instagram. Anybody else having trouble with Instagram, like crashing on you? It's been so frustrating. Okay, so half-caked makeup, formerly known as caked makeup. What were they formerly known as? Cake make, I think cake, I can't remember, cake something. I have some of their lipsticks actually, but they've rebranded to be called half-caked makeup. But they recently launched these Insta Crush lip glosses. Oh, and these are only $8, so it's actually really, really affordable. So why I didn't end up following through and purchasing, I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend $16 for 2 lip glosses plus shipping, and I was like, I can't do it, I can't do it. I don't, what is wrong with me? But I want to, because like I already said in the beginning, I'm a major lip gloss girl. I love my lip glosses. I can never have enough. They're only $8 each. They're vegan and cruelty free. They're strawberries and cream scented, okay? And if you watch any of my previous, I think within my last 2 makeup I want but probably won't buy videos, I've talked about how I'm a sucker for strawberry scented things and vanilla scented things, but strawberries and cream, that's almost like a cross of strawberry and vanilla. Like, so I'm like, these are meant for me. So it's supposed to be strawberries and cream scented with an intense shine. And there were 2 shades that really spoke to me. The clear one, and then one, what is the shade? I'm gonna have to find it real quick. Caught Up, this shade. It's so pretty. It's just like a little bit sheer, but with a little bit of a dark pink color. It just looks so pretty. I think I eventually will purchase these. I just have to like, I don't know what it is. I keep like I have a hard time spending money, you guys. I have a hard time. I have some trips coming up I'm trying to save money for and things like that, my surgery and stuff like that. Next month is Christmas, so it's like I'm having a hard time spending money on myself or stuff that I don't need. I have so many lip glosses and stuff. This is really what's hindering me, the biggest thing. It's like, yet I was gonna buy the $52 Shane Dawson eyeshadow palette. I don't know, for some reason I felt like I could justify that even more because it would be so popular and could also help my channel, because I would imagine it would get good views and help my ads and things like that. I mean, I don't know. I was trying to justify it all kinds of ways, but I can't spend $8 on a gloss. Like, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. So the next thing that caught my attention, but I knew I probably wouldn't really buy, I just thought it was really pretty and really cute, and so I wanted to mention it. Physicians Formula released this Rosé All Play, super cute, play on words, eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure if these are like actual like pressed glitters or if they're like shadows that's supposed to mimic the look of the Huda Beauty New Nudes. You know, has those textured shadows that almost look glittery, pearlized, but they're just like a shadow, you know what I mean? It looks kind of like that, and there's like little rose imprints in the rest of the matte shadows. It's a really pretty palette. I'm very intrigued by it. Like, if I had gotten it as a gift, I would probably enjoy it. I would be interested in having it. I think it's so pretty. I love the rosy tones. It is a little bit more on the cool toned side, but not, it looks a little bit warmer than some of the cool tones I'm not super into, if that makes sense. I'm trying to justify things. But yeah, I haven't really been super into Physicians Formula. It's a brand that I think is just like, I think it's overpriced for the drugstore. I think their packaging tends to be too bulky and so much wasted space. But this, I think, is a lot classier than a lot of their other products and palettes that they've released. Like, there's this one holiday palette that they released. I think I have this saved here somewhere too. And I think it's so stupid. I'm sorry. I think it's stupid. It's like, it reminds me of those like caboodles that like Walmart or whatever sells like during Christmas time. That looked ugly. Hold on. Anyways, those caboodles that Walmart sells during Christmas time that's filled with cheap makeup, and it just like unfolds, and you really just think, makes me think of child makeup. Anyways, it's this like giant, my thing crashed again. It's the ultimate Maru Butter collection, and it's just like this giant unfoldable palette. It's got a bunch of the butter bronzers, I think, and then like highlights and blushes, and then another side has eyeshadows. And I mean, it looked kind of pretty, but it also looks like, no, it's just too bulky, it's too much. Like, we don't need, I don't know. Ugh, I don't know. I don't like it. So anyways, this looks a lot sleeker and nicer compared to that, so yeah. Let's move on. All right, next on my list, I mean, of course there had to be something else because they're like the new ColourPop. Anastasia, as we already know, has released like the pro palettes, a bunch of those like back to back to back, and we've found out now that there was some kind of deal with Sephora that she needed to launch it this way to make it work out, as well as the fact that like Norvina is supposed to be like a sub brand of Anastasia, but it's still the same brand kind of. Anyways, you guys probably know by now the deal, but if you thought like that was all, that was not all. So now there are these mini versions of the pro palettes, and I like this idea because they're gonna be less expensive, which though I feel like they should be cheaper than what they are. I mean, maybe not because it's still Anastasia or Norvina, whatever, but they're like $30 for 9 shadows. And how many shadows are actually in the big pro palettes? So you're getting less than half the amount of shadows in the pro palette, but you're still paying exactly half the price, because the full size for 25 shadows you're getting it's $60. So like shouldn't the $30 palettes at least have like 12 shadows or something? But it's only 9 and they're $30. So I feel like the price should have been more like 20 or 25, like just something a little bit less. So I don't really like the price. Anyways, not that that even matters, but I'm just saying that's kind of weird. But I do like the smaller palettes. I think they're really cute. The one that speaks to me the most is the mini volume 2, because I don't know, something about the packaging reminds me of California. It just is really pretty. The sun, the yellows. It looks like a palette that should, like, instead of saying Norvina, it looks like it should say California. It just looks like a California palette. I'm a Cali girl, so I like that. I like the colors in it. There's 3 different greens that look really pretty. There's this kind of like warm burgundy wine red purpley shade. I don't know how to explain it. But it looks really pretty. 2 beautiful oranges. I love orange shades. A yellow and then a brown. I think that's pretty. I don't think I'll purchase it because the palettes are really, really small. Actually, I saw someone holding them and they're like teeny tiny. So for that, for $30, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. And then I wanted to mention this. I actually mentioned this on my Instagram account, but volume 1 wasn't super interesting to me. I thought it was pretty, but when I looked at it, the color scheme seemed very familiar. And when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that looks exactly like the Juvia's Place Queen palette. And the Queen palette, I think it was on sale last I checked. It's only $9. Yeah, it's right now at least. It's only $9. And you're getting a large palette. Now, you are only getting 6 shades compared to the 9 in the Norvina palette, but they're large pans because they can be used for the face or the eyes. And so the color scheme though is exactly the same. But in the Queen palette, as well as this Norvina one, you're getting a dark purple, a kind of bronzy highlight shade, a kind of cream toned highlight shade, a pink, as well as a red. They're like the same color scheme. So I would say if that's a color scheme that interests you and you're not just wanting to buy it for the name brand, check out Juvia's Place, because you'll get that same color scheme, you're going to get more product, and you're going to spend less money. So I just wanted to put that out there and recommend that to you. And if you were interested in that color scheme. So yeah, but yeah, I was very tempted by the green looking palette. It looks really pretty. That matte dark green looks really pretty, and then the burgundy kind of shade, oh, it's so pretty, but I don't need it. I don't think I'm gonna buy. No, I just have to say no. I feel like this is more so an anti-haul than anything, but not because I don't want them. They're pretty. I would want them. Next up, oh, I thought this was really interesting. So, Melt Cosmetics, and again, I think this is a limited edition collection, which I don't like limited edition, but I will say their Vita Pressed Pigment Palette, is that the warmer one? If you're hearing noise, that's just my dog walking on our wood floor. Her little claws make the tappy noise. Okay, yeah, it's called the Vita palette. It's their warm palette, and this is something they launched as part of their Dia de los Muertos collection, and it just looks really, really pretty. I love the warm tones. Like, I am a sucker for warm tones, and lately I'm such a sucker for greens, and there's two really beautiful greens in here, especially the darker, more metallic-y green looks so pretty, and then the red on the other end, so pretty. But then I saw swatches of it, and then I was kind of like, I don't know. While those are pretty, the three browns in between, like when you see them swatched, like I just think like not as interesting. Like, yes, the greens are pretty, yes, the reds are pretty, and I get why they put the browns in between for having some kind of neutral, what? You know, to blend, but I don't know, it just made it a little bit more boring, and so I was kind of like, that kind of really throws me. And that's an expensive palette. I think it's $58. So that's $60 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shades. And I know that Melt Cosmetics is an expensive brand. They are an indie brand. I think that's cool. That's just too expensive, I think, for such a kind of minimal palette. So anyways, yeah. Another indie brand, and this actually is I think it's a Canadian indie brand. It's called I have to look up how to pronounce this. Cleona. Okay, Cleona Cosmetics. Yeah, so they're in Toronto. They have come out with this adorable collection. You can buy it together as a collection or buy them individually. So the bundle is going to be $56, so very close in range to that other palette. But you are getting 14 shadows, and I feel like this collection looks very, very similar to that Melt Cosmetics palette, but like less boring. It's really, really pretty. So you can see why it catches my attention, because it kind of looks similar in that same color story, but you're getting more shadows and a few less of the boring shades, the browns. You're getting some other ones in here, and it's really, really pretty. Oh my goodness, it's so, so pretty. But I like that you can either buy the whole bundle together for that price, or you can buy them individually, and individually they would be, it says $4.50 to $6. I'm not quite sure what the difference is. Maybe if it's pan only, or maybe in a compact, maybe it would be expensive. I know that's how NBA Cosmetics does it. So I think if there's only a couple of these shades that speak to me, like the green mainly, that's what keeps calling to me, the green, and then the little burgundy shade. Getting those would be cool, but so I don't know. And so that's another indie brand I've never tried. I've heard a lot of really good things. I would love to try that brand, and I'd be more inclined to purchase from them probably than Melt. I don't know why. I just, yeah, I kind of think, yeah. Okay, and then lastly, I want to talk about Tati Beauty. And I was really intrigued. As soon as I saw the sneak peek, I saved it right away and was like, this is stunning. I really trust the quality that Tati would put into this. I know she likes glitter. I love glitter, and so when I saw this, I really thought it was so, so beautiful. I think it's a really cool idea. Everybody's already said it, but I will say it too. I really like how she just named the shades. She didn't name them individually, but she named them the shades and then just said what they were: matte, sequin, metallic, glitter, or sparkle, or whatever. I think that's really smart. I like how she created the palette with all the shades in the different versions. I think that's really cool. I did a video a long time ago of a Milani palette that I would have loved to see them come out with, and it was something similar to this effect. Not quite as mini, but in that palette, I know I had like a row of metallics and gemstone colors, and then in the palette next to it, I would have wanted them to have those same exact colors, but a matte version. And then I moved over and had some transitional shades to go with it. So it wasn't like to the extent that she's done, but it was similar. And so I think that's really cool to actually see a brand do do that and come out with that. And I know she's not the first, because I was actually inspired a little bit by, and I think I said in that video, by there was a palette that NYX Cosmetics came out with where they had done that same thing. They had, I think it was like a row of 4 different colors, and they were like more neon-y colors, but they had a matte, they had a metallic, and they had like a shimmer version or something like that. But basically that same idea. So she's not like the first person to do that, but anyways, she's like the first to do it to that scale, I think, and have that many shades as well as the pressed glitters. And so I think it's really cool. I was very intrigued. I was kind of waiting to figure out what the price was going to be, and that was going to determine if I was going to get it or not. And the price being $48, that kind of really was a turning point for me. Not that I think this isn't worth $48, but I don't know, it was just more that I wanted to spend on a palette that had a bunch of shades that I knew I already had in my collection. And I do have a big collection. As you guys know, I've mentioned, I have so much makeup. A lot often goes unused. So for me to buy a new palette just because it's new and just because it's Tati, filled with colors that I already have, it's a lot of basics. For that amount of money, I just wasn't quite there for it. And then also the other thing for me is that, like, I know a lot of people were really excited about the sequin shades, but to me I was kind of surprised by that. Like, I was really surprised to hear people say they were so excited about the sequins, like the sequin shade, and were intrigued by it. But to me, I'm like, doesn't that just look like a matte shadow with glitter added? And everybody talks about how they hate those type of shadows. Like, everybody, I actually don't. I'm not bothered by them. I don't mind them. I think you have to work them a specific way to get them to work, and I understand that. I think a lot of people don't like them because the way they usually blend them on their eye, then you're just left with a matte shadow and all the glitter falls out, which, yes, they have to be worked a certain way to get them to perform and show up the way they're supposed to. And I know that, but so I'm not bothered by them, but a lot of people don't seem to know that, or just don't care. Like, I don't know, am I the only one who realizes that so many people say they hate matte shadows with glitter in it? And yet everybody's forgetting that because Tati has come out with this palette with those in it and called them sequins. Or called them sequin shades. Now I will say that when Tati, I did watch her video, and the way she talked about using them, she did say you have to use them a certain way, and she recommends using your finger and just patting, I don't know, I'm doing it to my cheek, but just patting it on so you can get the full effect of them, which makes sense, and I'm glad she explained that to people so they know. But it's still essentially, while the formula looked creamy and beautiful, it's still essentially a matte shade with a glitter in it. And it just was interesting to me that some people were like, yes, this looks so cool. I don't know. Anyways, that's a rabbit trail. Not something that bothers me, but something I just want to point out because I thought it was funny. But anyway, so I did end up passing on this when it launched. I think it's pretty. The colors that speak to me the most are the orange shade, and then the like pinky burgundy one called Poet, because that's the one that always speaks to me. But it didn't speak to me enough to want to spend $48 on it. But what I am excited about is that this is just volume 1. So we know she's coming out with other volumes. I'm excited to see what else she comes out with, what other color stories she will come out with. I do hope she keeps this format of the matte. Maybe we could do without the sequin. I don't know if that's necessary. I think she can definitely just go with matte, metallic, and then the glitter. But I'm not opposed to having the sequin shades in there. But anyways, I'm interested to see what other color stories she comes out with. If there are some that are a little bit more interesting, I definitely have my eye on it. I definitely would like to purchase in the future. I hope she comes out with something that has some beautiful greens in it, because that seems to be what's really catching my eye more than anything these days. But yeah, I'm very, very intrigued. It looks like a beautiful formula. Watching her video, the formula just seems so creamy, so pigmented, and so like just soft and beautiful. And I've seen other people do reviews on it. I actually just this morning watched she changed her channel name and now I can't remember, but she used to go by the Taylor. Her name is Taylor something, I can't remember her new channel name, but I watched her do a look with it, and they just look like they blended so seamlessly and beautifully. So, and I believe Tati would be the type of person who spends a lot of time and effort to truly put together a quality product. So I think this palette probably is amazing, and if I had received it like in PR, I would probably never be someone to get PR from Tati, or if I had received it as a gift, like I would have loved to have it. But as for like spending the money on it right now, I just didn't think it was necessary. It would have been a little bit too much for me justify purchasing just because the shades are so basic for me. But yeah, I was very, very tempted by it, and I'm really looking forward to see what else she comes out with in the future. Definitely will have my eye on her brand. But yeah, anyways, that is it. That was all the products and that I had my eye on, makeup that I want but probably won't buy, and why. I really hope you guys found this video enjoyable and entertaining. I hope you enjoy hearing my thoughts on these products. I would love to hear your thoughts on these products. If you are someone who has purchased these products yourself and have some things to say, whether negative or positive, please share your review with me in the comment section so I can hear your thoughts and opinions. Are they something worth purchasing that maybe I should reconsider and actually purchase myself? Are they something that maybe it's good that I don't purchase? You guys let me know. I just really enjoy being able to talk about products whether I purchase them or not, because they catch my attention, and I think it's helpful for me to be able to talk about products even if I don't buy them, because the reality is I cannot just purchase everything as much as it catches my attention and as interesting as it is, and as much as I would love to have these products. It's just not possible for me to actually commit to buying all these things. I honestly just couldn't afford it. But it's still enjoyable to talk about products that catch my eye, even if I don't purchase them, or I'm thinking about purchasing them, or just probably won't you know what I mean? Like, it's just very helpful to me, and just enjoyable for me to talk about these products. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. Don't forget to leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you are new here and would like to see more of my content, I'll go ahead and put some videos here on the screen for you guys to check out, and check out some more. Maybe consider subscribing. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!